Any good Apple deals left? Let's take a look. Welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, it's kind of an impromptu video. We're gonna go out, it's July 8th right now, and we're gonna go out and see if we can find any good Apple deals right now. Now, as you heard, Apple raised the prices across the board on all of their products. It's a pretty sad day. Anyways, it all comes down to timing. Timing's so key here. I'm gonna show you here a couple examples of why timing's so important. So let's just jump into it. Let's see if there's any good Apple deals right now in the wild. Okay, deal number one's kind of an interesting one. Let me actually bring it up. Wait a second here. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So here's the issue. I actually had this queued up to show you guys this deal, and it's already changed here. It was up here from about 6 o'clock this morning until about 10 a.m. That's the last time I checked it. Anyways, let's jump in here. Here's the 2026 MacBook Neo 13-inch. This was the 8 gig version. Obviously, they all have 8 gigs, but it was the upgraded version, 512 gigabytes. It was actually on sale here on this website right now on Amazon for, what is it, $689, all right? So it was actually a pretty good deal. It was, it's usually $799 now. It was up there. And the thing I was going to show you is only under this indigo color. If you went to pink or blush, or citrus, it went up to $799. So here's the first hint. You got to be quick because it already went away. $689 on Amazon. So definitely keep checking to see if it comes back on the indigo color. But beyond that, you got to check colors too. That's my next tip, all right? So always check colors because colors can make a difference. In this case, it did. It was only on one of them, but it's already gone. It was up there for about 3 hours. It may come back though. All right. So for the Neo, what I recommend doing right now is just heading over to the Apple Refurbished store, like I mentioned before. You can still get them for $599 on the base level here. Look at this, $599. They're going to be basically new. You're going to get that $100 back. You're not going to get any sales, obviously. It's going to be back to the price that it used to be. And then down here, obviously, let me see if I can get down here. You're going to get the 512 gigabyte version for $679. That's $120 off. And they have obviously the different colors in here and stuff. They're all the same cost here. So I would just go to Apple Refurbished to buy these right now. But if you want to buy it new, keep checking the Amazon link, all right? Because that's the important thing. Let's keep moving here. We're just going to go through some more products here. The next one over here, what did we find? Let's just see if we can find anything out there. So in the wild right now, here's the 2026 MacBook Air 13-inch. So we can see it right there, 16 gigs, 512, down to $218 here from $299, all right? 6% off. Now, you might say that's not a big sale. Well, it used to be, what, $1,099? Now it's, what is it? That's $1,218. So, I mean, you're basically spending about $118 more than you could have got it before. But don't remember, before there was a lot of good sales too, so it actually seems like a lot more. But this is the best you can do right now on Amazon for a new system here on the 13-inch base level MacBook Air with the M5 chip. So pretty sad, but that's what we're finding right as of today. I'll have links to all this stuff in the description anyways if you want to check it out. Next here is going to be the 15-inch MacBook Air here with the M5 chip. Again, it's going to be the base level, 16 gigs, 512. Not bad, 10% off. So we're getting about $150 off. So we're scratching. I mean, obviously this went up from, I believe this was $12.99 to start with. Now it's $13.49. So it's only $50 up. You can get it for basically $50 more than it used to be. Although, again, it used to have sales too. Now it doesn't have them. Now you're thinking $50 off the list price of what it used to be. But still, I think that's a pretty good deal. So if you want the base 15-inch, I think you pick this up now because it's not getting any cheaper. I think the prices are going to continue to go up for the next year and a half. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, you might get some Christmas sales, but I think that's about as cheap as you're going to get right now. So pull the trigger if you want that one. Okay, next, we basically have a 13-inch laptop here. This is going to be the Air as well with the M5 chip, but the 13-inch, but you get 16 gigs and then 1 terabyte here. So this is usually $1,600. Now, I can't believe that, but it's down to $1,449, 9% off. So you're getting basically $150 off there. Not too bad, I guess, but again, without those sales that you were seeing before, this normally would have been, it was listing at what, $13.99 before, and then it was going to have sales. So you're talking, obviously you're getting close to that $13.99, but you're not getting those old sale costs. So it's going to hurt a little bit. But go ahead and pick this up. I think this is going to be as cheap as you're going to get if you want the 1 terabyte version of that laptop right there. That's the MacBook Air. Now, if you want to get some better deals, you want to maybe go up to some more of the high MacBook Pros. You can usually find a little bit better deal, like 10 to 15 to 17% off on those, the ones that have kind of weird configurations. Let's check what we can find over here. here we go. Here's the M5 Pro chip. That's going to be the Pro chip, not just the M5. That's good. 16-inch laptop, 48 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte. We're getting 15% off. So look at that. That's about, what is it, $550 off right now. 15% off. That's a pretty good deal right now. Again, can't compare it to what it used to be, but that's going to be going on right now on, what is it, July 8th. These are always subject to change, but you put these in your head. And then when you see these prices come back up, if they go lower than that, then pick them up for sure. But if they come back to this price, then that's probably where they're going to be, obviously, right? The next one over here is going to be, let me just see here. This is going to be, what is it, the M5 Pro chip, 16 inch as well. 24 gigs, 1 terabyte. So this is kind of like the base level. So this used to be, I think it was around $25.99 to start with, and you're getting it for what, $26.49. Now the list price, if you go to Apple's, $3,000. Can you believe that? So 12% off something, right? You're getting something back. So these aren't as bad as we thought maybe when you see some of these sales coming in here on these more higher end models like the 16-inch MacBook Pros. But it's not like it used to be, and it's never going to be that way for at least, I think, 2 years. So timing is really important. That's number one. Also check the different models and colors because they can totally change what you're going to be getting. The colors matter here, obviously, and that's really weird with the Amazon especially. But next is, if you want those Airs, you want those MacBook Pros, just go over to the Apple Refurbished store again. You can see it right over here. And we're just going to scroll down. You can still pick up, here's the M5 MacBook Airs, the base level, for that exact $10.99 there, $10.99. So the old cost, $200 off there. So if you want to pick those up, just head over there. They're going to be basically new. That's a good option as well. And then things like this. Let's just see what we have here. Here's a pretty good deal here as well. This is on Certified Refurbished Apple Store as well. This is going to be the MacBook Pro again. This is the M5 chip. I believe this is the 14-inch. And look at this, $16.99. So $300 off. Now, these all went up from, they used to be $15.99, I believe, and they went up to $19.99, but now you can pick them up for $16.99, $300 off right here on the Apple Refurbished store. So I think that's a pretty good deal overall. And don't forget that there's other things like accessories on Apple Refurbished as well. Check over here. You can pick up the Studio Display right now for $12.29. That's $370 off. Again, they're going to be basically brand new. Now, last year, I totally said, do not go to the Apple Refurbished store. This year, I'm saying go back to it. Before, the deals were really bad compared to Amazon. Now they're actually better. So it's one of those things where you just got to keep checking multiple sites, checking things like B&H, Amazon, Micro Center, things like that to see where the best deals are. And so a good example of this, maybe you want the M4 Pro Mac Mini, the M4 Pro chip and the Mac Mini. That thing went from like $12.99. Now it's like $17.99. It went crazy. It's like super expensive, and you can't even find it. I did find it on actually on Amazon over here. Here it is right here. So the M4 Pro chip, 24 gigs, 512. I actually bought this at Micro Center last year for like 11 something. Now they want $1,749, which hurts, right? There's no sale right now. But check around. Like I actually checked B&H. And over on B&H, it is in stock as well, and it's $16.99. So you're going to save 50 more bucks there at B&H, and you can get this version here. So I think that's a pretty good deal there overall, right? Not really, but you get the idea. At least we found it, and it's up there. So that's pretty cool. And then B&H is another good source, and I'll have links to this stuff as well in the description. But if you want to find some rogue deals, you got to look around. Like over here, like I didn't see anything on Amazon, but I went over here, and they're actually offering the, the 24-inch iMac here. What is this one? This is going to be just the base level, I believe, 16 gigs, 256 for $13.99. If you don't remember, that went from $12.99 to $14.99. So you're getting $100 back here on B&H. So overall, that's pretty good, right? You can't complain, but I will because it sucks. But anyways, let's see what else we can find as far as iPads. Okay, so over on Amazon, we did find the Apple iPad mini here, the A17 Pro chip, 128 gigs. It's got a pretty good sale right now, 18% off, $489 from $599, so $120 or 100 and whatever, $10 off. Pretty good deal there overall, 4.7. So I think that's a good deal on Amazon, and you're going to find some of these kind of rogue deals just flash up. And then by the time you watch this, they might be gone. But just keep checking all these different versions. And again, in here, check colors. So $489. Let's see if these actually changes. Let me click on a couple of these. $489 for that one. Look at $462 for that one. That's crazy. That's going to be a different color. And we're going to click on this one over here. $489, and let's click on the purple. So these all seem kind of, they're all about holding standard there. So it looks like it's $489 across the board. I've seen these where these will jump up. They'll jump up to like $549 depending on the color. In this case, it wasn't too bad. So anyways, let's keep moving. What about iPad Pros? What do we find? Here's the 13-inch M5 version, so the latest version here, 256 here. And what does it have? Let me just see here. I think it's just the base level. But these are what, $14.99 list price now. So 17% off. You're getting it for $12.49. That's a really good deal right now. So obviously, I think it used to cost $12.99 was the actual cost before. I believe it was $12.99 or maybe $11.99. I can't remember. Either way, you're going to get it for either $50 more or even less than it was before. I don't know which I don't know what it was before, but it's very, very close to that price. Of course, you could get it on sale, like we said, but still, that's a pretty good cost right there going on right now. And then I ventured out to B&H and was looking for some other kind of iPad deals. And what did I find? Let's take a look. Right over here. Now, this is something you have to get creative with, all right? So right now, I believe it's $7.99 for the cheapest iPad Air if you go to Apple's website. But on B&H here, we had to go down a chip. Take a look. So this is the Apple M3 chip, not the M4 chip. And you can see, but it's got an M3 chip, all right? And it's an iPad Air. You're not going to need anything more than this. This is plenty. And you're going to get $200 off this cost. It's brand new, too. So $599 for the iPad Air. You're just going to go down to the M3 chip. I totally say that's worth it to save $200 here. And maybe you can pick up the keyboard and the pen and stuff like that and be around the same cost as $799. That's a good deal there as well. So definitely check out B&H and things like that. Okay, Apple Watches, they weren't affected that much. In fact, there's some good deals on them right now. They didn't get the same price, increases as all the other products, but it's coming on the next version. So now's the time to buy. So if you want the Apple Watch Ultra 3 here, it's $100 off right now, $799, and it's down to $699, 12% off. So that's a pretty good cost. It's the brand new version of it, the latest model also, and obviously you're not getting hit with that price increase yet. It's going to come on the next version, so be careful there, right? So if you want that, pick it up. What about the Apple Watch Series 11 here? These are all in great sales, 46 millimeter, that's the larger one. $359, usually $429. Pretty good cost, cost across the board on all these things. Again, these are going to go up as well, so you got to do your own due diligence and pick them up, all right? Then finally, if you want to just pick up something with Apple and feel like you got a win here, maybe you lost, your charger or something, they got some of the accessories on sale as well on Amazon. So let's take a look what we have over here. I don't know, most people don't realize they can get the Apple 20-watt charger here for only $14.99. This is a real Apple charger, not a fake one. 21% off. You're going to save only about $5, but still, at the end of the day, it's a win, right? You want that win. You got to get the win from Apple. Next is going to be another win. If you want to upgrade to the dual USB-C port compact power adapter, 35 watts here, $39. This usually comes with some of the systems you could upgrade it, but it's usually $60. That's a pretty good cost there, and you're going to beat Apple at their own game there. So get that as well. And then some cables here. Here's the Apple MagSafe charger, 2-meter here. So obviously, if you have anything that's going to be charged wirelessly here, you can use this adapter. That's 22% off. Usually $50. It's $37.99. And you're going to beat Apple at its own game. So they're not raising the cost on that stuff, and you can get it for even much cheaper than their website. So remember that, all right? And then to end the video, we're just going to throw in a couple things here that are not Apple related, but if you need some additional storage, are you finding any good deals out there? There's literally no good deals on storage. I found 2 that I might recommend. I've actually used this first when I talked about it before. I think it's a good drive for what it is, right? Let's take a look. This is the ByWin Black Opal. It's basically 7,450 megabytes per second. It's Gen 4 times 4. This is down to $149 from about $175 for a 1 terabyte version. You're going to take it with a grain of salt, but look at the reviews here. What I always say is, if you look at reviews, take a look over here. So when you go to the reviews, 89% 5-star and 6% 4-star. When you add these two up, if it's over 90%, this is 95% 5 and 4 stars, you got a good product there, especially with a lot of reviews, all right? When you get down lower than that, when you get down into like 70%, when you add those two together, it's not a great product. But these are pretty good products. I actually tested this myself, and you're not going to beat that cost right now. So do your own due diligence to make sure that's right for you. And then finally over here, if you want some external storage, you don't want to mess around with just a drive like that, you just want to pre-build. Lexar right now has got the ES3. This is a 1 terabyte version. It's down to $152.99, 10% off. So usually $170. Again, this is going to work with a Mac and a PC. You just want to format it accordingly. Not bad. Again, it's not the best option there out there as far as what it used to be. That used to be, realistically, that was, maybe about $109 before. But so you're spending, an extra $40 or something. It's not the end of the world. Get it while you can. It might even go up more in cost in the future. So if you need some additional storage, that's a pretty good one I recommend as well. Overall, what can you do, right? So the theory here is 2 things. Timing is key. If you see a price pop up like I showed you in the Neo, just keep hounding it or put like an alert up because it's going to probably come back. All right, that's number one. Number two, check the colors. Obviously, every color matters. And the Neos especially. The Neo, it was only on that indigo color and it kept changing and stuff. So they want to get rid of color sometimes. Check that as well. And then check obviously all the different websites and use Apple Refurbished. Treat Apple Refurbished as basically new now. And I think you'll be fine. So we got to get through this a couple more years, maybe. Let's hope Apple. I know Apple's working with some other companies to bring down the price of I think SSD storage and some RAM. I think RAM or SSD storage. Some Chinese companies, they're going to basically hopefully get more into the market. So we'll see if that comes up here in the next maybe year or so. Keep your fingers crossed. Anyways, we will talk to you soon. These prices probably won't be up there. It's more of a learning thing. Set these as a low price, write them in a book or something, and then look for them again. We will talk to you guys in the near future. Peace.